Welcome everybody to TGB Week 4. After last week's very disappointing loss, we're back with more TGB content. We're gonna try to recover after last week. Samura is disabled. This thing is blind and paralyzed. It's very lucky I didn't drop it for Basculin, because Basculin was still available, so I got picked up, so let's pick it up. But still, I should have dropped this thing for Basculin because last week, oh my god, this thing can't hit a move. And we're bringing Toxic again. After what happened last week, we're bringing Toxic again because I'm just like that sometimes. Anyways, we're playing Kurapika this week. It's gonna be a battle for sure. He's definitely one of the better battlers that I know. But he got beat by Star in BDL semifinals, which we're playing Star in BDL finals. Not big brilliant draft like some other BDL I'm in. But that's BDL isn't what we're talking about today. We're talking about TGB. The matchup this week isn't that bad for me. It isn't necessarily super good in my favor. It's not necessarily bad in my favor. His biggest thing is that he kind of loses to Golurk. Like, kind of auto loses just to Golurk, which is something that we're going to be trying to take advantage of this week. I'm not bringing Choice Band Golurk because I'm just not. Because, like, Linoon exists, might switch into a Poltergeist something, but if I can predict that and switch it into a Dynamic Punch, it's dead. So we're starting off here with our Samura. I'm following the nicknames that Prison does, which is naming after what you expect your opponent to bring. So that's just what I have the names as. We have War Turtle, our Samura. Ice Beam, Surf, Toxic, Workup. Workup can easily sweep through his team. I have no speed, so I don't need any speed. Instead I'm bulky. I'm a little bit more bulky than I am fast, but I don't really need speed here. Nothing on a team I need speed to outspeed. Nothing on a team that I need to outspeed, I need speed for. So I'm fine without any speed investments. But Ice Beam does not one-shot Sceptile, unfortunately, but after some rocks, after some chip, it does. After a workup, it does, so that's gonna be a very good thing. His team is very Violet reliant, so I could have easily just brought knockoff spam this week, which I actually did consider, but Golurk also kind of wrecked him. I didn't want to screw over Golurk by bringing knockoff spam, because pretty much his whole team is knockoff reliant. I think he has 2 fully evolved Pokemon on his team, if I'm not mistaken. No, he has 3 fully evolved Pokemon, I believe, right? Yeah, I believe he has 3 fully evolved Pokemon, so he's very Violent reliant. But Toxic is there because, like, his primary check to Samurai is, of course, War Turtle, so Toxic is there to really put a timer on that thing, put it in a much worse position than it would be in otherwise. Surf is there just for neutral damage against almost his entire team, and Ice Beam covers everything else that Surf doesn't. Ice Beam's also good for Gabite, because Gabite could be an issue, but it's just good for that. Rhino Berry's there for Sceptile because Sceptile exists, Sceptile is a threat, and we need to make sure we get rid of it. It can't even kill me with max attack Adamant Leaf Blade, but I'd rather have health, so I brought Rindleberry just to catch it off guard and Ice Beam it down to death. Next up we got Linoon Galar, our Purugly making its debut. We got Choice Band and Thick Fat because Thick Fat's there for Magmar. We don't really need Defiant this week since he doesn't really have a lot of defoggers and we're not really bringing hazards too much. We're bringing Stealth Rocks and Pinsir, but we're not really bringing a big hazard team like with spikes and everything. So and he doesn't really have the greatest defoggers in the world, so I didn't really see much of a reason for Defiant here. Choice Band, Knockoff, U-Turn, Return, Play Rough. Of course, I'm Knockoff Spam. I'm still gonna Knockoff Spam slightly. I'm gonna Knockoff Spam with Purugly against his Evolve users. He is not a very good check to Purugly unless he brings Bastiodon, which I don't think he brings. But if he brings Bastiodon, we're just pretty much get free U-Turns. Choice Banded U-Turns destroy his whole team. Literally, Magmar is the only thing that can switch into them. And even Magmar still takes a decent chunk. That's a very important thing in this meta, is being able to hit hard pivot moves and get chip on things early in the game. So why Toxic is also so good in this meta, because you get chip on things and everything by doing that. Returns are for strong stab, and I think it one-shot Sceptile no matter what. I think it almost fully one-shot Sceptile. There's like a chance. It has. It's a role in my favor to one-shot Sceptile. It one-shots most of his team, or even just late game. This thing's so fast that it comes in and cleans. Like Kadabra, the speed I have is outspeed Kadabra. It's outspeed a max speed timid Kadabra, and then just demolish it. Pretty much U-turn spamming on his whole team is gonna end up being very beneficial for me heading into later parts of the game. That's just gonna be Chip to help something clean. So next up we got Gabite, our Golurk, carrying not carrying Choice Band. I already spent Spell Tag on this thing to have a stronger Poltergeist. But I put Lumberry on here just in case he tried to burn me with Magmar or something. It tried to burn me with like anything. I think Magmar is like his primary burn user on this team, but I don't know, if he tries like to sleep powder me, I think Shifter gets sleep powder. If he tries to sleep powder me, if he just tries to pull some funny stuff with status, I'm not having it. I'm not having getting burned. Especially if he doesn't need his Magmar anymore and he sacks it to get a burn off on Golurk. I get to see him doing that, so that's why I have Lumberry, just to make sure I don't get burned like that. I already have Spell Tag, but it's not that important. We have some bulk on here. We don't have any speed invested, we don't need any speed. Some bulk there to help us out, and then just enough attack to be able to kill most things on his team. Nothing on his team really switches that well into Poltergeist. And anything that does gets absolutely destroyed by coverage moves as well. So that pretty much just makes it very easy for Golurk to clean through his entire team. I could have easily brought Rock Polish, but didn't see it being as necessary here, because Golurk's decently bulky. Next up, we have Sceptile, our Lilligant, coming as a Quiver Dance set for the first time ever. Not that much speed, we don't actually need any speed on this thing, but speed's just there to outspeed maybe some lower tier Scarfers after a Quiver Dance. It's there to help me outspeed some of his best Pokemon after a Quiver Dance. Just some bulk in there. Almost max special attack, but it's enough special attack to do a few things. That's probably him pinging me ready to play. Go check that right now. And if not, if he isn't, I'll just hurry this up real quick. Alright, he said we're gonna play in an hour, so I'll continue this though. Modest is just there to do as much damage as possible, pretty much anything. And this thing is wrecked to his whole team. His only check is Magmar, and then that's what Toxic's for, because Toxic wrecks his entire team. He has not a lot that can switch into this thing, so this thing's going to be absolutely incredible against his team. As a Quiver Dance set, instead of the really weird Sub-Seed set we brought week 1, this set can actually put in work as a Quiver Dance Sweeper set. So if I can get a Quiver Dance up late game, this thing can clean as long as Magmar's chipped down enough. I have Stealth Rocks and Silk. Most likely is bringing Evolate on Magmar instead of heavy duty boots. So if I get Stealth Rocks up, then Magmar's in a really bad position switching in, because it's got to take 25%, it's got to take Toxics, and then it's got to take Toxic 25% every time else to come in. Which is a big deal for Magmar, especially when it's supposed to be such a big check to a lot of my team. It's a big deal for Magmar to take that much damage, and I feel like Lilligant just does a lot in forcing Magmar to chip down, and still being able to clean through his team, spread Tox on stuff like Gabite, and just overall be a very, very annoying Pokemon for me to deal with, and potentially even a Pokemon that could sweep later in the game. Next up, we got our Morgrem Kadabra. Very, very simple set. It's got Prankster, Light Clay, Light Screen, Reflect, Thunder Wave, and Dazzling Gleam. This is just good because it hits pretty much his entire team. Thunder Wave is also pretty good to spread against his team for Pokemon like Sceptile. It is mainly there for Sceptile, but it can be there for Kadabra too, since Kadabra is a threat, so it can just be there for Kadabra, it can be there for Lightning Galar, it can be there for a lot of things, while Dazzling Gleam is just able to get nice damage off of his entire team. Reflect and Light Screen are there. Reflect is there for his physical threats, Light Screen are there for his special threats, because he's got enough of a mix that I could run both of them instead of just having to run one. Like week 2, I think did I run Reflect and Light Screen? Yeah, I did run Reflect and Light Screen. Pretty much that's because if they have enough of a mixed presence, then you can run both. But this time I'm running both because he has enough of a mixed presence of threats on both sides for me to want to run both screens. And then next up, we got Magmar, our Pinsir. Heavy duty boots, just in case he doesn't set rocks up with Gabite. We have max defense plus nature, 120 HP, 136 attack. This is mainly a Sceptile check. Even if Sceptile carries, I think it gets Rock Slide or something, it still doesn't do that much to Pinsir. Pinsir still takes him pretty well. Exeggutor does a lot of damage to the entire team. Stealth Rock is able to get rocks up and get chip on his entire team. EQ is there for the Magmar. And then Toxic is there for the Magmar. See, I'm carrying Toxic on everything because that's honestly a really good thing to do in this meta. The reason why Toxic works so well in this meta is just because things need their HP, and a lot of times things don't really get recovery here. Like especially a lot of the bulky Pokemon in this tier don't get that good reliable recovery because that's why they're lower tier. Bulky Pokemon are lower tier if you don't have recovery to keep yourself healthy. And then often the sweepers, a lot of times often the sweepers with recovery are really treasured because they're honestly pretty good to have that and not be able to get broken down as easily. Toxic limits everything Pokemon can do. The setup threats, the stall threats, pretty much those two major things that this meta is focused on. This meta is really focused on in the middle. This meta is focused on sweeps and stalls and the Pokemon that support it. This stops everything, and that's why Toxic is so good in this meta, and that's why I'm bringing it on pretty much everything this week. I'm bringing it on 3 of my 6 Pokemon this week, just to make sure Toxic's entire team down, and just shut it down. Shut down its entire team, make sure that everything gets chipped to allow sweepers to come in later on in the game and help them later on in the game with worse clerics and everything like that. So pretty much that's an explanation for why I bring Toxic on everything now, because I've seen too many Vigoroth sweeps. Yes, Vigoroth sweeps. I have seen way too many Vigoroth sweeps, and I am not getting swept by a Pokemon such as Vigoroth. So I'm just gonna be Toxic on everything, because you can't really do much about that. So, that's it for Team Builder. I'll play him in an hour, and I guess I'll see you guys when I end up playing him. I think I did a decent Team Builder for once. It's a little bit longer, but I think I actually gave a little more insight into what I was bringing, which is very, very pog. Welcome, everybody. TGB Week 4 we are in now. Now we're playing against Kurapika, and we are 5 for 6. We predicted 5 of the 6 Pokemon he actually ended up bringing, which is pretty cool. It's always very good to be able to say that you predicted those. I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm putting on some music on my Switch while I'm thinking about what to do. So looking at his lead here, I can honestly really see I don't see much of a lead against Purugly, so I'm most likely just going to lead with Purugly, because I don't really see that he has much against it. So it kind of does a lot here. Just for the fact that, as I said, he doesn't really have a lot for it. He doesn't really have a lot for the lead. He doesn't have a resist. The only thing you really have that can lead off against it properly is Hakamo. But I just play rough that thing and kill it immediately unless it's scarfed. But we should be able to kill it even through Violet, which should be something that can be very, very helpful for us early on in the game to get rid of that Hakamo. Alright, yeah, I'm just gonna leave with Purugly. He just leaves Magmar, okay. Let me turn the effect volume down a bit. Okay. Okay, so what do I do here? I don't want to get Flame Body Burn. Got some TDL people in here, because I always invite TDL people to my game. I think my calc like semi shows, but it's just the best I can do. So my Purugly against a Magmar. Magmar has a blank set. That's kind of weird. Let's see. So its item is Eviolite. And let's assume it's max defensive. Max physically defensive is what we're gonna assume with this calc here. We don't do enough to justify staying in here. And I don't see any reason to reveal ban or anything like that so early on. Do that. You go into Gabite here. Oh, that's perfectly fine by me. I'll just Toxic here. He doesn't go into War Turtle. He hit a Toxic, let's go! Samurott hit a Toxic for once! Let's go, Samurott! Alright, he'll probably just flip turn here. That's kind of what I expect. So we got the War Turtle Toxic. That's honestly very good for us. Let's see. War Turtle. So we'll just put max in all the defenses with Eviolite, and then we'll change nature as we calc. Scorpion getting a 90% chance. God, that's so true. So what do I go into here? I think I just go into Willigoat. Yeah, because even if he clicks Ice Beam, doesn't do enough. Yeah, he does Toxic me. He goes into Magmar here. Gets Toxic. That's the primary thing we wanted there. Alright, so Magmar is now toxic. Magmar and Wartortle are toxic. So that's honestly really good for us to get things toxic so early on. A toxic is very good in this meta, Ace. So pretty much this position here, we definitely don't want to sit, don't want to just sit like this, but I think we can just go into Wartortle here. Wartortle, that did a lot. Was that supposed to do that much? Let's see, Samurott, Magmar, a Fire Blast coming from a Magmar. I know Magmar is pretty high attack, so no, that's offensive. That is offensive. That is offensive. Is that Specs? I think it might just be Max Modest. No, that's Specs. That's Specs, okay. So our Surf kills. Goes in the Wartortle here. We do get a crit, that's pretty poggers. I got so hacked out last week, Elon. I don't even want to hear you talking. Alright, I will just go straight back into Sceptile. Okay, so we've already learned that this Magmar is Specs. The Samurott cannot safely switch in here. What about Purugly? Purugly... Yeah, Purugly is pretty decent to switch in here. What about my Morgrem? Morgrem cannot take a hit here. Golurk. Golurk can take a hit, but it's not gonna outspeed. Do I just sack off? Do I just sack this thing off? I think I'm just gonna... I think I'm gonna Quiver Dance here. Yeah, so he just ended up taking me out. But it's Magmar is Specs, we've already learned that. We have Gabite. We'll click Poltergeist here. We have absolutely no reason to not just click Poltergeist. I expected that much. Let's see, a Sceptile. Keck W's in chat. Yeah, I stayed in here because you don't kill me. That's why I stayed in. Yeah, I kind of expected no item Sceptile, but I just had to click Poltergeist there and try to do something. I'm Burden doesn't activate here. Yeah. You have to lose your item. There we go. Why are you trying this, Elon? Keck W's in chat. Kadabra. Oh, okay. You know, pair for para, pair for para, pair for para. Do we get pair for para here? Let's go. We're going to Gabite here. Linoon, Galar. Does return here kill? I'm wondering. Let's see, Gabite. That was pretty funny. The Golurk. That was very, very funny. No, God. That might do be sick, though. Just go into Magmar. Yeah, he does get rocks up. Oh, he's gonna toxic me back, okay. Well, you wanna know something, Mr. Elon Musk. I'll just toxic you right back. Oh god, War Turtle got dragged out here. Here's the X-Scissor. Go. Linoon Galar. Want the War Turtle here. To take the play rough. It does not take it very well. Alright, well, I know I haven't been very interesting in my commentary here, but just because this game has not been too interesting on its own, it's pretty much my Perugly here against a Kadabra. We don't know, no, we don't know, it's not Life Orb, or is it? No, it has Magic Card, so we'll assume that's Life Orb. Kadabra, Life Orb. Yeah, I die here. One to Kadabra. Keck W's in chat. Oh, he's Sash. He's Sash. So we have Kadabra kind of just doing what it can. Keck W. And he's always gonna take more and more damage. And we know he's Specs. Yeah, that's Specs. So we know he's Specs for sure. So what do I do here? Do I go into Perugly? I do need to take up that idea of a Reflect and a Light Screen. So let's see, a Choice Specs Modest Magmar. We've already figured out that it's just Specs Modest. Time to pray. No, Kurapika, you're still in this game, my guy. The game's not over yet. I'm just calcing real quick just to see what Magmar does to Perugly here. That's very poggers. And let's click U-turn here. L. Let's go into Pinsir here. Yeah, I already knew. I expected as much. Hakamo can still win. Alright, well that was something. We already know I have Play Rough, so I'll just click Play Rough here. It's probably still not gonna kill. Yeah, it's 55%. Alright, this actually comes down to these plays. Let me see. Morgrem versus a Hakamo. Dragon Dance. It has X-Scissor. So what if he's max attack adamant? There is stealth rocks on my side. I'm at 33%. Okay, this is gonna come down to the wire still. Let's go! We did it. We managed to somehow win that one. Alright. Well, that's a GG here. That game happened. It was pretty fun overall. It was a pretty fun game overall. I think it went good. I don't think there was that much hacks really involved. I personally don't think there was much hacks involved in that game. He thinks there was, but I don't think so. There was a few unfortunate things on his side, but none of them really ended up mattering. They only really counted towards differential, and none of it really counted towards the end game. And so who ended up winning this game? So we somehow won. Bye.